Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna te Namaha. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It is a great spiritual text. It's a great holy company. It's a great spiritual master. We have been discussing many topics taken from the Gospel. Today's topic I have chosen 3 essential keys for a successful, meaningful spiritual life. Every step is important, and spiritual becomes successful only when we give attention to every step, what we should do. The 3 essential keys which I was referring, one is seva, second one is sadhana, and third one is samarpana. Seva, sadhana and samarpana. Seva means service, sadhana means spiritual practice, samarpana, dedication, rooted in humility. All these 3 are very important for the successful and meaningful spiritual life. So, we should take one by one. Probably in today's class I will be speaking about seva, service. This term service is very generously used. Social service, government service. People are very familiar with the word service. But then, what would be the spiritual meaning of service? In the ordinary sense, service, in the name of service, people become aware of their status, of their position, name and fame, and all such things. Egotism, followed by anger, hatred, all these negative qualities they cultivate in the name of service, social service. A person who is doing social service, actually in every government there is a social service department. No doubt the word is excellent, but the way in which people do, that's important. The service from the view of spirituality is positive. You will be more and more devoted, dedicated to the divine. You will be drawn towards the divine, and you feel the presence of divine everywhere as and when you progress in the act of service. So, one who is doing service with spiritual attitude should become free from anger, greed, lust, passion, all such things. Unless one is thoroughly purified, you can't really enjoy the glory of spiritual life. These are the great abstractions in our spiritual journey. First of all, very important factor is that we are undertaking a spiritual journey. That awareness should be there. If we are aware of our journey, then whatever the obstructions may come, we can cross over them. That's why spiritual life is compared to climbing the mountain. Mountain climbing. It is remarkable and enjoyable, provided you have proper attitude. So, spiritual life starts with the firm conviction that the divine, supreme is everywhere. Every space in this universe is sacred and holy. Every being is sacred and holy. Animate and inanimate. The whole creation is divine. Why? Because God is present everywhere. Though God is present everywhere, why are we not able to see? Because of the impurities firmly rooting in our mind. So, the whole purpose of spiritual sadhana is to purify the mind. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. To the extent you are purified, to that extent you enjoy peace and glory of the divine. In order to satisfy and give joy to every being, God assumes different names and forms. All the divine forms are true. Each one of the divine form is capable of giving wonderful realization of peace and bliss. So the world on which we are born is exactly the field wherein we are to struggle for freedom from bondage and suffering. Suffering is bondage. So we should be free from suffering. Where? Not by going to heaven. Only here. So you have to go beyond suffering, through suffering. You have to go through suffering, beyond suffering. We should really understand and be open-minded to accept what is divine, what is good and what is not divine, and so on. Service. The very word service is a most excellent word, I should say. The very word itself should make you humble. I am serving. If you have the attitude of the divine, you will be really humble. And if for some reason you feel a kind of egoistic ideas, immediately it should strike you, I am not doing service. I am dishonest. In the name of service, I am exploiting the human beings. That's all it means. But service done in a proper attitude should be free from all these weaknesses, should raise you up to higher and higher stages. As I have been frequently telling, spiritual life is a continuous journey. We have to keep on moving onward and onward until we realize the true divinity. Then the journey ends. So, with this spiritual outlook, we should define service. And that is, giving is living. Giving is living. It is through the service of the needy people we attain peace, satisfaction, and liberation in life. So many national calamities occur every now and then, all over the world. People are suffering and suffering. In one part of the world, people are suffering from floods. In another part of the world, people are suffering from drought. In another part, people are suffering from diseases. So, suffering is manifested to the maximum extent in the world. Cause of suffering, many. But then, how far we are able to render our help and service to the people in suffering, that purifies our heart. We should be overwhelming when it comes to the point of service. So, many great persons have thought about the idea of service in a very fantastic way. To give real service, you must add something which cannot be bought or measured with money. And that is sincerity and integrity. If these two are there, your service is really meaningful for successful spiritual life. Keep doing good deeds long enough, and you will all probably turn out a good man in spite of yourself. Instead of thinking always about grumbling about our weaknesses, we should concentrate on simply doing service. Doing service as a duty, that is wonderful. I am doing service, and that should be a part of my being. I can't be without doing service. So, Mahatma Gandhi used to say, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And Mahatma Gandhi lived like that. We are not put on this earth for ourselves, but are placed here for each other. If you are there always for others, then in time of need, sometime, someone will be there for you. Sometimes you wonder, oh, I was in a crisis, somebody came and helped. How could that happen? Because you have been helping in different ways. So, God provides you help when occasions arise. There is a famous incident in Mahabharata. The famous character Draupadi. It's a big story. I'm just pinpointing the episode. Draupadi was drawn into the court of Duryodhana. In front of all the people, Duryodhana ordered that Draupadi should be disrobed. What a great crisis. To make Draupadi naked in front of all people. Greatest crisis, I should say. Probably if somebody else was there in her position, she would have collapsed immediately with heart attack. But Draupadi was devotedly worshipping Lord Krishna in her heart. Her mind was full of Krishna only. She prayed to Krishna, "O Lord, I am facing terrible crisis. Protect me." God loves to hear prayers. Please note that. It is like a mother loves the child to cry and come near her. Mother loves it. And she hugs the child more vigorously. Same way, God also highly pleased if you pray. And only that prayer should be sincere and you must be honest. That's all that is required. So, when Draupadi prayed for, at the right moment, God blessed. And Krishna himself explains how Draupadi could get this blessing, that her cloth could not be disrobed. Though Dushasana tried to pull her sari, it went on increasing. How could that happen? Lord Krishna says, in a previous life, Draupadi had given clothing to somebody, and this is the merit she is getting now. God is the reward, He is the giver of rewards. He knows how to give, when to give. And He gives impartially. He gives. It is because of His giving only we are enjoying the sunlight, breathing the air, fresh air, drinking water, taking nourishing food. All these things are by the grace of God. So, Leo Tolstoy made a very significant statement. He said, the sole meaning of life is to serve humanity. The same thing Swami Vivekananda, the great disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, who came and gave most sublime message of Vedanta in the West, in America, in Chicago, at the Parliament of Religions, here, in our Chicago. He said, Atmano mokshartham jagadhitaya cha. If you are aspiring for spiritual freedom, if you are aspiring for peace and bliss, if you want to go beyond suffering, do service to humanity. Swami Vivekananda further says, look how many lives you have passed through up to this time. Give one life. I am asking you only one life. Dedicate that life for the service of humanity. That is Vivekananda's message. With that message, Ramakrishna Mission was founded. Service. Lots of avenues are there for doing service. Educational, medical, cultural, spiritual. How many varieties of services? Infinite varieties. What is needed is, you must engage yourself wholeheartedly in the act of service. Service becomes meaningful if you don't aspire for monetary benefits. If you don't expect something to return. See that fellow? Every month I am giving lots of money, and he is so ungrateful. He criticizes me. The answer is, he is criticizing you because you are helping. So, that's the way. Don't expect whether a man criticizes or not, whether a man appreciates you or not, whether a person puts your name in the newspaper or not, whether your name is broadcasted in the radio or not. Never care for these things. They are all trash. If you don't care for them, God gives you immense peace and immense bliss as a reward. That's the reward for your service. And service, if you do with this spiritual attitude, all the impurities of the heart are burnt away. They simply washed away. They can't bear the spiritual fire. They simply vanish. They can't bear. Spiritual fire is like that. It's invisible fire. So, if I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin up to his nest again, I shall not live in vain. What a beautiful statement. Giving what you don't have to give. Giving when you don't need to give. Giving because you want to give. That's the way of service. Not simply calling anything and everything as service. That's why I told you in the beginning itself. Service is used very generously. Just like God, they use, oh God. They keep on telling for everything and everything. Meaningless word. They made the word God meaningless. God, the word God is most sacred and more extremely glorious, uplifting word. But nowadays people use that word in such a way, it has lost its meaning as it were. No. So you must focus on the way how we should do service. That requires wisdom. Without wisdom, you can't render service properly. A selfish man, without any idea of character or virtues, if he also does service in the name of service, if he also acts, that will not become service. It becomes real service only when you are doing with pure heart. Surrendering yourself at the lotus feet of the Divine. So, wisdom is knowing what to do next. Virtue is doing it. Not simply knowing, you must do it. We read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So many instructions are directly pointing. Do it like this. Repeat God's name. Be associated with holy. But do we follow them? No. That should not be. Wisdom is knowing what to do next. Virtue is doing it. So, we should have this background when you are practicing karma yoga. It is a very fantastic spiritual path. If you don't know the process of yoga, then karma yoga will not be there, karma roga will be there. Karma roga. By doing karma, you become obsessed with jealousy, hatred, anger, all dirty qualities, things. So, karma yoga is really meant as selfless service to humanity. Please note the word humanity, not the selfless service to America, selfless service only to China or only to Russia, not that way. Humanity means the whole world, whole creation. Why? Because I belong to the whole universe. I am the citizen of the world. Next comes I am the citizen of America, next comes I am born in this particular land, particular area, particular boundary, and so on. But in the real sense, every one of us is part and parcel of the whole universe. What a glorious idea it is to know, to understand it. It is joy. If you have this attitude, wherever you go, you feel wonderful. When I came here to America in 1991, somebody asked, Swami, do you miss India? Miss? Why should I miss? The whole thing is God's creation. Whole thing, undoubtedly. So why should I miss anything at all? And really, that was my attitude. From the day one up to this day, I did not miss. People are wondering how this Swami is talking so boldly like that. What is boldness in that? That's the fact. And a person who really is stepping in spiritual life should feel that he belongs to the whole world and all are your own beings. That's how you can really love everyone with that attitude. Otherwise, all kinds of racial feelings, this and that, it's all those things come. All nasty things will come. No. If you are practicing spirituality, you must be practicing 100%. There is no question of I do 25%, etc. No. It must be 100%. You must always target. I must perfect myself. Perfection will come by itself. Don't worry. Keep on doing, perfection will come. If you keep on heating the water, it boils itself. You don't have to check. You don't have to say now and then. Keep warming it up, heating it up, it boils by itself. So like that, keep on doing service, you get purified without you are being aware of it. What is the result of that? You get the vision of the divine. And you feel the whole universe is full of bliss. And you literally see everyone is the image of God. That's why you find wherever they are, the saints, real saints, are really wonderful. They love everyone. They hate none. The important point is to serve humanity without any attachment or egoism. That's very important. If the attachment comes, if the egoism comes, immediately you must chuck it up. It may come because of bad samskaras. That only shows those bad samskaras are to be uprooted. You must become more alert. No, I should not have attachment. Attachment is a negative force. It destroys your energy. It makes you exhaustible. It exhausts all your energy. It makes you weak. You will have nervous breakdown because of attachment. Ah, who, he, like that they will cry. No. And at the same time, never feel you are important because you are doing service. Curb yourself. Even if somebody calls you, you are very important. In the heart of heart you must feel, I am just instrument in the hands of God. So, as and when you do service with this humble spiritual attitude, you really become free from ego. The central teaching of the Bhagavad Gita is non-attachment to work. Non-attachment. How to do that? Do your duty. Duty because God has given that assignment. You have nothing to say. You have been born in this earth, so you have to work. Lord Krishna says, your duty is to work, but not expect the fruits thereof. That means you don't have to keep on worrying about the fruits. Fruits come by themselves. If the work is done properly, you get a very good fruit. If the work is not done properly, you will not get good food, good result, good fruit. But the point is mind. This mind, it is a very complicated one. It is the mind that is ruling everyone. Though we are boastfully telling my mind, etc. Who are you, rascal? You are the slave of the mind. As long as you are slave of the mind, you are a rascal. So, the mind is so framed that it cannot work without expectation of fruits or anticipation of rewards or even appreciation. You won't say, see, even though I vacuumed the whole chapel, they didn't even recognize and they didn't even express thanks. Gee, the moment you expect thanks, you will lose your spiritual benefit. So, never aspire for appreciation. Naturally it comes. But you must know, every moment of your life, you are on spiritual path. If that is so, then everything is true. Yes. Why should I need appreciation? I must please God, not the people. Thereby people are pleased, it's wonderful, it's all right. But my first priority is to please God. If you have to please God, you should not aspire for appreciation by the people around you. Neither appreciation nor depreciation, whatever it is. Indifferent. I don't care for this appreciation. I am doing for the love of God. Service means I am rendering service to God in the name of vacuuming the chapel. I am not doing service to please some selfish fellow. No, just the way. So that means you will have to train the mind to work disinterestedly. Not inefficiently. Disinterested means not inefficient. The person who works with spiritual attitude works more efficiently than the ordinary so-called worldly man. Worldly people cannot understand the spirit of Nishkamya Karma Yoga. Why? because their minds are charged, are saturated with impurities. Do vigorous service for some time. You will grasp the spirit of Nishkami service. Keep doing it. Be martial to yourself. Order yourself to do. Keep doing. Finished. Don't ask anything. Then you will get the result. So if you want to be called as a yogi, whether a karma yogi, bhakti yogi, whatever yogi, once the word yogi comes, you must know the qualifications of yogi. What are they? He should be free from greed. He should be free from dirty lust. He should be free from dirty anger. He should be free from dirtiest egoism. Then you are qualified to be a yogi. Otherwise you are discarded. Only then you can do real useful service. Even if there are traces of these negative qualities which I just mentioned, one should try to get rid of them one by one. If you are aware of them, they won't bother you. If you give room to them, they will play upon you. So, another quality of the karma yogi, he should have an amiable, loving, social nature. He should have perfect adaptability, tolerance, sympathy, cosmic love, and mercy. Simply going 24 hours in company, you can't call yourself as a karma yogi. Oh, I work at 24 hours in company. I'm a great karma yogi. Simply by calling yourself karma yogi, you will not become karma yogi. You become karma yogi when you develop these positive spiritual virtues in your life. One should be able to adjust oneself to the ways and habits of others. He should have an all-embracing and all-inclusive heart and equal vision. He should have a cool and balanced mind. He should always feel happy in the welfare of others. He should have all the organs under perfect control. He should lead a very simple life. He should bear insult. He should bear disrespect. He should bear dishonor, disgrace, harsh words, heat and cold, and all such things. That means he should have power of endurance. He should have absolute faith in himself, in God, in scriptures, and in the words of his teacher, Guru. Such a person becomes a good karma yogi and reaches the goal quickly. Well, the topic is really quite big. I will continue the same topic next Tuesday. Seva, sadhana, samarpana. 3. Pariksha, samiksha, pratiksha. 3. I dealt with that in previous class. I am giving you 3. Not whole thing at a time. Just mother feeds the child bit by bit. Three should be enough for it to digest properly. page 956. We are almost coming to the end of the Gospel. Girish was eating the sweets. The devotees were sitting about, and M was fanning Sri Ramakrishna. Girish said to the master, Deven Babu has decided to renounce the world. On account of his illness, Sri Ramakrishna could hardly talk. Touching his lips with his finger, he asked Girish by signs. When he heard Devan Babu has decided to renounce the world, Sri Ramakrishna asked, who will feed his wife and children? It's very easy to talk, renounce, get away from the problem. Girish said, I don't. Girish said, Sir, which is wiser, to renounce the world regretfully or to call on God, leading a householder's life? Master said to him, haven't you read the Gita? One truly realizes God if one performs one's worldly duties in a detached spirit. If one lives in the world after realizing that everything is illusory. Those who regretfully renounce the world belong to inferior class. Do you know what a householder jnani is like? He is like a person living in a glass house. He can see both inside and outside. Again, there was silence in the room. Sri Ramakrishna said to Yam, the refreshments are hot and good. Yam said to Girish, yes, they were bought from Fagu's shop. The place is famous. Master said smilingly, yes, famous. Girish said, they are really nice. To the master, he said, Sir, my mind is now on a very lofty plane. Why does it come down again? Master said, that always happens when one leads a worldly life. Sometimes the householder's mind goes up, sometimes it goes down, sometimes he feels great deal of devotion, sometimes he feels less. This happens because he lives in the midst of lust and gold. Sometimes the householder contemplates God or chants His name, and sometimes he diverts his mind to lust and gold. He is like an ordinary fly, which now sits on a sweetmeat, and now on filth, a rotting source. But it is quite different with sannyasis. They are able to fix their minds on God alone, completely withdrawing them from lust and gold. They can enjoy the bliss of God alone. A man of true renunciation cannot enjoy anything but God. He lives any place where people talk of worldly things. He listens only to spiritual talk. A man of true renunciation never speaks about anything but God. The bees light only on flowers in order to sip honey. They don't enjoy anything else. Girish went to the small terrace to rinse his hands. We shall stop here. Any questions you are welcome to ask. If you have got any doubts about the things which I just now tried to explain. If you are silent, that means you don't have any doubts. All right. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire worldly lust raging furiously within. O name streamed down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy. How huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust are the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, and my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, but thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.